we're going to break down some super simple but really powerful hacks to help you stay grounded no matter what comes your way.
You know the feeling, right? You're having a pretty good day, you're feeling productive, you're on top of your game, and then bam, it happens. Could be a harsh email, a weird look from someone, or just one negative comment you read online.
And just like that one tiny thing completely takes over your headspace. Your focus is shot, your mood just nosedives, and you can't stop replaying it in your head. So that's the big challenge we're talking about today. How do we stop these little moments from having so much power over us?
So what do we even mean by emotional stability? A lot of people think it means you're supposed to be a robot or never feel angry or sad, but that's not it at all. It's actually the opposite. It's about letting yourself feel all those things, but not letting them grab the steering wheel and drive your life off a cliff.
All right, so how do we actually do that? How do you stop that emotional hijack in its tracks? Well, our very first hack gets right to the core of the issue. It's all about creating just a tiny bit of space between what happens to you and what you do next. When a really strong emotion hits you, your brain's first instinct is just to react. It's an old survival thing, you know? But in the modern world, that knee-jerk reaction, that snarky reply you send, that email you fire off, is usually the exact thing you wish you could take back 5 minutes later.
And the hack is so simple it's almost silly. Just pause for 5 seconds. That's it. But in that tiny little window, something incredible happens. You're giving your rational brain, the smart, thinking part, a chance to catch up with that initial emotional impulse. That 5-second gap, that's where your power is. It's the difference between reacting on impulse and responding with intention.
Okay, so you took a pause. Great, but what if your heart is still pounding out of your chest? This next hack is a physical tool, something you can pull out of your back pocket anytime, anywhere, to calm your body down directly. Seriously, think of your breath as a remote control for your entire nervous system. It's pretty amazing, just like you see here. When you breathe in slowly and then make your exhale just a little bit longer, you're sending a direct message to your brain that says, hey, we're safe, you can stand down. This one little trick can switch off your body's stress alarm in just a couple of breaths.
So those first two hacks are your in-the-moment emergency kit. But if you want to build real, lasting stability, you've got to go a bit deeper. You need to become kind of a detective of your own mind.
You know, most of the times we get really upset, it's not random. There are patterns, so start noticing them. When you feel yourself getting triggered, maybe later that day, just take a minute and write down these 3 things. What actually happened? How did I react? And what was the emotion I was really feeling? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's just about gathering some data so you can understand what makes you tick.
And as you start collecting that data, you're probably going to notice something that is, frankly, mind-blowing. The thing that happened, the external event, is almost never the real problem. The real power is in the story we tell ourselves about what happened. The event is a neutral fact. A message hasn't been replied to. That's it. The interpretation, though, that's a story we invent that's full of emotion and assumptions. They must be ignoring me. I'm not important. Learning to spot the difference between the fact and the story, wow, that is a superpower. It can diffuse so much unnecessary pain. But here's the thing. All these mental techniques, they're only half the story. Emotional stability is not just a mind game. It is built on a very real physical foundation. How your body feels has a massive impact on your mental strength. So let's look at the 3 big physical pillars that hold everything up. If any one of these is out of whack, believe me, your whole emotional world is going to feel shaky too.
First up, move your body. Sometimes when you're feeling overwhelmed, the best thing you can do isn't to think your way out of it, but to move your way out of it. Even a quick walk literally helps your body process and get rid of stress hormones like cortisol. It's a direct, physical path to feeling better.
Next, information overload. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single notification, every news alert, every post you scroll past, it's a potential little emotional jab. Our brains just were not built for that kind of constant input. So, deliberately cutting back on that noise gives your mind the breathing room it needs to stay centered. And finally, sleep. Look, this one is completely 100% non-negotiable. When you don't get enough sleep, the part of your brain that makes smart decisions gets weak, and the emotional, reactive part gets super loud. That's why small problems feel like the end of the world when you're tired. Seriously, protecting your sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental health.
So we've talked about what to do in the moment, and we've talked about the foundations you need to build, but all of this points to one final and I think most important truth of all.
This right here, this is everything. Nobody just comes out of the womb calm and collected. The people you look at who seem so steady under pressure, they've built habits, whether they know it or not, that support that steadiness. And that is such good news, because it means anyone can learn this.
It's not who you are, it's what you do. It's a skill.
You don't build this skill overnight. You build it with that 5-second pause. You build it by taking a few of those deep breaths. You build it by getting just 15 more minutes of sleep. These little things, done consistently, are like going to the gym for your mind. They build the strength you need for when things get tough.
Because at the end of the day, life is always going to have its challenges. You can't control that, but you can train yourself to meet those challenges with a clear head. The goal isn't to avoid storms, it's to be the calm in the center of them. It's choosing to respond with clarity instead of chaos. And that right there is true emotional strength.